Hi everyone, welcome you all in class in electricals. This is a new YouTube channel and I will be letting you know about the electrical basics, some tricky questions and cover all the technicalities of electrical engineering in subsequent videos. So, in this segment we will be discussing about some important electrical basics concepts, and before I switch to the important facts, I would like to ask you two important questions, that what is electric current and what is EMF, what we call as electromotive force. Any answers? Okay, I am telling you what actually the electric current is. Electric current is basically the controlled movement or drift of electrons through a substance. Okay, or you can say it is a rate of transfer of electric charge, I equals to dq by dt. Okay, so electric current is also defined as rate of transfer of electric charge. Okay, Coulomb is the practical as well as SI unit for measurement of electric charge. Please remember, Coulomb is the practical as well as SI unit for measurement of electric charge. 1 Coulomb is approximately equal to 624 into 10 to power 16 electrons. So this is electric current. And what is electromotive force? Electromotive force or EMF is the force that causes an electric current to flow in electric circuit, while the potential difference between the 2 points in an electric circuit is that the difference in their electrical state, which basically causes the flow of electron between them. So this is electromotive force. Now you get an idea of electric current and electromotive force. A question to you: in gases, the flow of electron is due to. So the answer is it is due to the electrons, positive and negative ions, all three: electron, positive and negative ions. Positive and negative ion, as I told you, rate of transfer of electric charge we have to consider. Rate of transfer of electric charge. Now, second important fact: the minimum requirement for causing flow of electron is a voltage source or any other thing. A voltage source and conductor. A minimum requirement for causing flow of electron is voltage source and a conductor. The draft velocity of electron is very small in comparison to speed of light. Okay, micrometer per second it is. Okay, now Ohm's law is not applicable for semiconductors, vacuum tubes, electrolytes, carbon resistors, arc lamps. Okay, because V is directly proportional to I, that particular concept is not followed in the case of following examples, that is semiconductors, vacuum tubes, electrolytes, carbon resistors, arc lamps. Resistance of copper wire always increases if temperature is increased and number of free electrons becomes less. Always remember, resistance of copper wire always increases if temperature is increased and number of free electrons become less. Few more concepts. The hot resistance of the filament of a bulb is higher than the cold resistance. Why? So it is because of the temperature coefficient of the filament is positive. Okay. As you know, the temperature coefficient and resistance relation is R equals to R naught within bracket 1 plus alpha delta T. By that concept, we can say that the hot resistance of the filament of a bulb is higher. The temperature coefficient of resistance of an insulator is negative and dependent on temperature. Always remember, the temperature coefficient of resistance of an insulator is negative and always dependent on temperature. When an electric current flows through a conductor, its temperature rises. This is because of collision between the conduction electrons and atoms. Constant voltage source is active and unilateral. Don't get it confused with bilateral. It is unilateral. Ideal voltage source has zero internal resistance. Ideal current source has infinite internal resistance. Kirchhoff's law are valid for both linear and non-linear. Always do remember, Kirchhoff laws are valid for both linear and non-linear. Kirchhoff's law are not applicable to circuits with distributed parameters. Sometime you see, when we talk about transmission line in power system, thereby different type of models are studied. In that case, you have got an idea what actually the distributed parameters are all about. Okay. So electrical energy is expressed in 1 kilowatt hour, or you can say electrical energy is one electrical energy unit is 1 kilowatt hour, and electrical energy is expressed in kilowatt hour, and 1 kilowatt hour equals to 3.6 megajoule. And the last point, the amount of heat produced in the circuit is expressed in kilocalorie. Always remember, the amount of heat produced in an electrical circuit is in kilocalorie. And 1 kilocalorie equals to 4180 joules. Now, this amount of heat produced, this concept basically comes from Joule's law of electric heating. Joule's law of electric heating basically tells us that the amount of heat produced in an electric circuit is proportional to the square of current, that is I, heat is directly proportional to I square, and proportional to the resistance of the circuit, that is heat is directly proportional to R, and proportional to the time duration for which the current flows through the circuit. So H is directly proportional to T. So H is directly proportional to I square multiplied by R multiplied by T. And when it is converted into joules, then we can say that 1 kilocalorie equals to 4180 joules. Okay. So H equals to I square RT divided by 4180. Hereby you can get the value of heat produced in kilocalories. So this is the basic concept of work, power and energy, and few fundamentals related to Kirchhoff law and flow of electron. So thanks for watching and have a good day.